Welcome in once again, guys. We're here to feed that Yu-Gi-Oh cardboard addiction, guys. You guys already know we have Luna Light Tiger, QCSR. Again, we used to talk about this card at way cheaper prices, so it's hard to come back to a card like this and be like, buy it now. You know, after it's been going up in price, the card used to be 5 bones. Now you wake up and it's 13s. It's up to 2.5x around there, give or take. But the key is future prices. This card can definitely go up even from here. It can become a 20 piece, a 25 piece. It's Luna Light Tiger. There's a lot of hype with Luna Lights heading into Nat season, heading into the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh event of the year, and that's fine. A lot of people are at home, they don't care, they're not going to the event. They're like, 4,000 people, I don't got money to go to Nats, I could care less. But there's money to be made, either if you want to invest into cards like these, or if you want to pick them up yourself to maybe play locally. That's also a thing, right? So again, this QCSR, was 5 bones, went up to current prices, retraced a little bit back down to the mean to 1150s, but you see that clear curvature at the end. And again, a lot of people don't pay attention to those, the little signs on the charts. They're like, yeah, it just went up and that's about it. And well, no, these charts, they get updated essentially every day. Every little sign could be a clear signal, sometimes a sell, sometimes a buy. In this case, it's a buy signal. And right now we're at 13s, but after a couple, it does go to $16 at the bottom of the page. 17 listings only. So again, you see here, people coming in. There's some Billy Bobs already paying $15.99. Guys, so if you're playing Luna Lights and you want to order this card or you want to pick it up because you want to build a deck, especially if you're going to Nats, just don't let this be a 20 piece on you in the short term. Stampede, everyone forgot about Stampede already. No one's paying attention to this set. People moved on to Battles of Legend, now to Duelist Advance, and then to Justice Hunters, and then later this year, a new Rarity Collection gets announced, and then everyone forgets about Stampede. But there's, just like with Bonanza, there's an extreme amount of high value inside these Rarity Collections. Let's not forget about Stampede. A card like this is more like a short to mid-term play. It was way better to get it at around $5 when we first started talking about this card. But if you're late to the game, it is what it is. But you still want to build the deck last minute. 13s is way better than 20s and beyond. Then we have Called by the Grave, alternate art. Everyone forgot about the alternate arts from Stampede. That hype, that initial rush that you can clearly see in the charts, where the card came out at 32s and then went up, sets to 90s. But I think, look, we even had some sales in the triple digi range. It got crazy, guys. It went wild, bonkers. Then it had a massive crash down to 60s, low 60s, where we said I'd be a buyer. Then it rebounded back up to 80s, and now it's consolidating just a hair above 70 bones. So, again, this is what you want to buy. You want to buy. This is all one big consolidation compared to future prices. Compared to future prices, there's just one big consolidation wave right here before eventually breaching this all-time high. I get it. It's a one-up. Jay, it's just a one-up. This, that, and the third. First of all, not to say that it has to happen, but you never know if this card ever comes back to 2. Is it at 2 in the OCG? I think so, right? Don't quote me on that, but the whole point is you never know. Not saying that it's likely here in the TCG, but what if this card comes back to 2? What do you think would be the price of this card? It'd go insane. Triple digits overnight. But even if it's just a one-of and continues to remain so, this is when you want to come in. After there's lack of interest, no one's talking about these alternate arts, no one's paying attention to Stampede, close to 70s, maybe in person you can get more of a deal, and you pick this card up at a one-of before eventually, down the line, the card can definitely become triple digits. So, excuse me, guys, you definitely want to make these considerations right now. Guys, you can fast track each and every single card that we're talking about today. First link in the description down below. Why? Because look, this is when you want to buy. When most of these cards are retracing back down or crashing down, this is when you want to buy before they get their next eventual leg up. Again, all the cards that we're talking about today, you can fast track these, or you can come and click each and every single one and open those up while we continue to go through these in today's market watch. Don't forget, shout out to I might name this later for hosting our 9.5K giveaway. You can come over here in the Discord and participate. Just 4 days left. That's gonna come quick. Get yourself in here. Don't miss out. Participate with your opportunity to win this playset of cards right here. You know, Songs of the Dominators, Gordian Slicer, and this QCSR. Do not miss out. Free participation, man. And let's subscribe so we can continue reaching our goals and host our next giveaway as well, guys. Ring that bell, like the video on the way in. I would gladly appreciate that. We have Lunalight Perfume. Again, we just talked about this card early in the week, if I'm not mistaken. And this quarter century used to be $4 or $5 again when we were talking about it. Now it's at all-time highs of 1350s. But look, it's really a $15.50 card right now, and quickly goes to 20s, just like we said earlier in the week. You know, 16 listings only. Was way better to buy at 5s. Was way better to buy at 9 or 10s, when we talked about it again. And you know, it's 15s now, so you're kind of paying 3x off the lows. But this card can continue going up, become a 20 piece at the bottom of the page, and even exceed that and go, you know, to 25s potentially. So you're just getting to the stage where, like, if you need the card, you're playing the deck. You know, maybe you're paying a premium, of course, compared to previous prices, but you know, these prices might continue going up just based on this parabolic move and just the hype around Lunalights, man. There's a lot of hype right now going on with the deck heading into the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh event of the year, man. So definitely make those considerations. Then we have Blazing Cartisia, the Virtuous alternate art. This card used to be 48s. We said, guys, anything under 50s will age well. It'll age like fine wine, get exposure. And those that did got rewarded. The card went from 48s, 47s to 80s. Literally a $30 jump overnight, essentially, guys. It went parabolic. And then it crashed back down all the way to 56s, guys. That is a hefty crash to 56s. But now Char hasn't updated. It's rebounded from 56s to 67, 68s, guys. So again, these $10, $15 swings, you know, there's just a couple here. Quickly goes back up to 75s and then to 100s, guys. So 11 listings only, almost single digit listings again. You know, after this crash, people forgot about it. So, you know, if you need it, 68s might be good compared to triple digits very, very soon, because the listings are going lower. People are coming in and getting exposure to this card because it's getting harder and harder to get. So if you need it, I mean, hey, it's Blazing Cartisia. This is a beautiful, beautiful art. And I mean, in my humble opinion, so if you want this card, it's been highly volatile. But again, it'll just be a matter of time before eventually, it seems likely now that it claims the triple digit mark as an all-time high price, guys. So yeah, definitely keep this one on your radar. Then we have Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. It continues to crash down. It continues to make all-time lows, guys. For this hand trap, it's getting to the point where now for $50 you can get a playset, and that's not bad, man. 50 bones for a playset of Ghost Ogres. You have a couple of 1s and 2s, and then it goes to 20s at the bottom of the page, 60 listings. But again, if you can find yourself, this card was 22s, 23s not too long ago, so now it's down 5 bones a pop. If you can get these for a 50 piece, maybe trading or whatever, or, you know, locally or even on here, you know, around 50, 55, it's not bad at all to get exposure to this hand trap, because that's when you want to pick it up. You want to pick it up now. You don't want to be coming in like, yo, everyone needs Ghost Ogres and it cycle back into the meta and the hand trap is just broken and you know, I need Ghost Ogres now, man, when they're 30s and 40s and 50s and I don't care. Nah, you don't want to be paying premiums. You want to let Billy Bob take care of that for you. You come in early. No one's looking at Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. And they'll be like, yeah, Jay, of course, because no one's playing it and no one cares. That is the whole point. You pick it up when it's free 99 compared to future prices. This is great. Honestly, if I see these at Nats, like a playset for 50 bones, like trade value or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna be, you know, I'll consider it. Be like, yo, Ghost Ogre, I think this will age well, you know. I mean, because these cards, look at Drows. Drows were these prices, man. And then they hit 40s. You know, Ghosto, of course, Drow is, you know, in my humble opinion, a better hand trap. It locks down the whole turn. And it's always part of the meta more than Ghost Ogre because it locks down searching. We understand. But Ghost Ogre, when it cycles into the meta, ooh, man. And it's a Ghost Girl trap, man, I'm telling you. Man. 17, this is pretty cheap, honestly. You know, if you're looking for a quarter century to buy, to get exposure to right now in the teens, a Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, we understand. You have the alternate art, you have an OT, you have many other higher end options, but this is the OG art, came in Stampede. You know, in the teens is pretty low to me for a Ghost Girl hand trap, quarter century secret rare that, you know, always cycles in and out of the meta. You know, I won't lie, in the last 5 years, really hasn't cycled in that hard, but there's been moments, and those are the moments that you want to keen on and focus on, you know, and take advantage of when those happens. This could easily 2x in price, so definitely keep it in mind. We have Diabell Star, the Black Witch alternate art, continues to crash down to all-time lows. I remember when this card came out, it was $125, guys. $125, you know, and it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, the price of this card. You know, I moved mine at around like 120s around there, you know, at all-time highs. Not necessarily knowing that it was going to crash this hard, essentially 2x down 50%, but just moving it, you know, because I wanted to get the money back that I put into my box. And it was crazy. One card paid for my box and some more. Insane. Everything else that I got from Stampede was free at that time. And now the card is at all-time lows. It says 78s, but we're at 68s, guys. 48 listings. People that do want this card usually need play sets. But there's people coming in and completing their sets or just buying, you know, one-ofs here. But, yeah, I mean, you know, there's a couple ones and two-ofs, and then it goes to 70s and eventually 75s. But, damn, man. 60 in the 60s? Yo, this card was 125. Y'all remember the initial hype? Yo, I want it, man. I want this card. Oh, my God, it's the most expensive quarter century in the sets. Diabell Star. It looks beautiful, and this and that and the third. And if people ain't using the card, you know, then it just becomes another card that people want to collect or get access to, add to their rarity collection binders and things of that nature, rather than actual meta relevance and playing 3 of these in your deck with as an engine. You know, but of course, if it ever comes back to the meta, straight up to triple digits, easy work. But for now, you know, it might continue going down lower, man. I mean, it's not readily available. You know, it's just a scarce card, hard to get. But, I mean, if you can find some deals in the 60s and you really need the card, way better than paying triple digits as some people were paying not too long ago. And we have Effect Veiler, 50 Bones. Again, this one is Effect Veiler, man. This one at $50 is like perfect price, man. Perfect price to pick this card up at a 50 piece. Wings from Wingstop right there, 51s. Not bad. Low 50s, you come in because it quickly goes to 60s and beyond. 49 listings. So, you know, this is one. If there was ever a time, sure, that does not mean that it can't go down to 45s or 40s. Anything is possible. But if there was ever a time where you wanted this card and you missed out, you forgot about it, you're like, nah, I ain't paying 80s or 90s or 70s or whatever. Now, $50, alternate art veilers, quarter century secret rares, great deal. Long term. That doesn't mean it can't go under 50s in the short term. Yes, but long term, 50 Bones was great. Just recently, this card was $75 flat for a good while, guys. It was above 70s for a good amount of time. We're talking about multiple months above 70s, and now all of a sudden, a flash crash, and it's a 50 piece. So these sudden flash crashes, you want to take advantage with cards like these. They'll just get more and more scarce as time passes by. We'll go into month 3, month 4, month 5, 6 since Stampede come out. And then people, you know, in the future, there could be a rush towards alternate arts, especially if we get more alternate arts in Rarity Collection 5. You know, even though they'll come as Starlights instead of quarter centuries, still, people will come in. They're going to want to get these. Don't miss out on these cards. Then we have Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus, Sky, Thunder. The alternate art still holding 43 strong, man. So this came to an all-time low. And honestly, guys, you know, this is the first inkling of some type of consolidation for this card, you know, as we can see here. So again, like we've been saying, at a 40 piece, 47 listings, this is just your one up for your extra deck. Yeah, you do have the RO10 at 45s with shipping, so don't take these low 40 prices in the low 40s for granted. I mean, we can go to a lower time frame. That is kind of like a mini W shape pattern right there. So again, these could be the very early signs of a rebound for this card going back up to a 50 piece and beyond. So don't hey, telling you, man, this is a alternate art. Look at this card, man. Man, it looks nice. It looks nice. You know, I don't prefer the rarity, but the art, yo, hopefully they reprint this, man. Give us a reprint in Rarity Collection 5. You know, but with the other rarities. You know, this same card, give it a Starlight and the full rarity treatment. Come on now, Konami, do things right. Do things right. Then we have Mo Charmy for Wallows, the secret rare. Again, this secret rare was recently like 15, 16 bucks. You see even 14s, in the 14s. See a little rebound here to 18s as people get ready, you know, for the biggest event of the year. They need this card. And this secret rare is the mid-max rarity. People just enjoy secret rares. Yes, you have the OGs, but you know, they're coming in from the rarity collection 18s. Only a couple ones and two ofs, man. So this card could be a 20 piece. You know, McNuggies from Mickey D's pretty soon. So that the whole point is you guys need to get this card before it's a 20 piece and beyond. It's a staple. Staples are currency. If you see a full Wallace, you pick it up. Because yes, you know, the ultras and supers were crashing down even below 13s at some point, but they quickly go back up to 14, 15s because it's just for Wallace. It happens when it first comes out. They're readily available, and then you wake up one day and all copies go up in price, and then people are like, man, I should have gotten more. Don't forget about these Stampede cards, especially a staple like this. This is not just heading into the biggest event of the year. It's post Nats, post Justice Hunters. This card is just as effective, will continue to remain so. So don't forget about Fuwalos. With all these new cards and new sets and everything, people forget, literally. So at a bare bones minimum, there's no way that you shouldn't own a play set of this card. Just to have access. I have Euro PURs. I ain't selling those. I'm gonna keep that play set, you know, because it was too cheap compared to old prices. You know what I mean? You mean what I know? So again, and again, it's definitely cheap compared to future prices. So you know, my 50. Well, what is the just for context here? What is the other versions? So again, the PCR. Look, this is crazy. Like, look at this, guys. Like, if you want some of these prismatics, the PURs are 15s, man. 15s. I picked mine up like at 18s, you know, but look, there's a placer right there, and then a 2 of, and then it's right back up to like 18. So again, guys, you know, you take advantage of these flash crashes. That's a great playset right there, man. 50 bones post tax. Wow. If I wouldn't have owned this card, now I would have pulled the trigger. Hopefully one of you guys does right there, because that PUR, that's too cheap. And then you have PCRs cracking into the teens, guys. But then it quickly reclaims the $20 mark at the bottom of the page. So if there was ever a time to pick up your Fuwalos, now is that time, before these cards all go up together in tandem in price once they continue becoming more and more scarce. We have Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Again, alternate art. This card used to be $1 and some change forever. Massive amount of listings. Then we woke up one day and all of a sudden you got that strong rebound with, wow, over 1,000 copies sold on the yearly chart. It was let's see, yeah, that's like a week right there from the 9th through the 15th. So again, still volume came in, caused a V-shaped recovery, and this card, look at that, guys. All you see now are 1-ofs to 3 bones. That's crazy. 108 listings only, and I say that's crazy because this card was readily available. This card had massive Wands of China, massive. Just like this card right here, Superstar Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis. You know, secret rare, with which we have always been a proponent, you know, to pick up this card. I still have like 50 of these. And I'm not mad at it. I'll hold on forever, you know, if I have to, in a sense. You know, who knows, man? I might end up going down with the ship on this one, but it's still Sky Crisis, you know? It still has volume candles here, liquidity, and it's just readily available now. But look, it had walls like this, over 1,000 at $110. Wow, that is not bad. Five of these gets you 550s, not bad at all if you don't have access to this card right now, or if you want to accumulate for the long term. So again, the supply for this card is at all-time highs. At all-time highs. Again, not to directly compare this card's utility and effect to Ash, because Ash is played at 3s in most decks. It's just more utility-wise is higher, you know, in that sense than Sky Crisis. So we get it. But yeah, this card, it's a $3 card, and after that playset, you know, it probably keeps going up. So we were always proponent of picking up your Ashes, even if they were feed Ashes. And then, you know, the surprising thing is that the secret rare is going up, but the other versions, you know, the other versions are kind of like low. Let me just see here, Stampede. So you see, I mean, you have PCRs at $5 when secrets are pushing 3s. Like, these are too cheap, guys. You know, you have what else? You have PURs at 3s. You have platinum secrets at 5 to 6s. You know, again, like, there's just been no better time to pick up Ashes. You know, secret rares, you know, they were $1 and some change. Might as well go for the higher rarity plays. And look, even the ultras are moving up little by little. So you definitely want to keep this card in mind. And then you do have the max rarity here from Stampede is, you know, crashed down from 90s all the way down to 75s. There's a playset, but then it quickly reclaims 88 bones at the bottom of the page. So again, if you want Stampede cards, if you need these cards, I've always wanted Ashes, Jay, but they were 90s. Now they're 75s for a clean playset right here. Take advantage of this, because after that, eventually this card should be hitting triple digits. Don't miss out. So again, we do have Sky Crisis. What I would be doing now is picking up the other rarities. Let me just check here. Let's check first the Platinum Secret Rare and then the PCR. So again, this one continues to consolidate at $5, but you know, with the wall of China, I'm happy to see this right here, because hopefully I just want a playset. Hopefully I can find these at Nats, playset for 15 trade value and move on, because I don't see these in person, man. And then you do have the PCRs. Let's see. Wow, 270s and PURs. These PURs don't look that good, man. Honestly, I'm always a proponent of PURs, but this picture looks better than in real life. It just doesn't look that good. You know, it's around 250s though. If this is your favorite rarity, like usually it tends to be for me for most cards. I get it, but yeah. As an investment, maybe 250s. This card could be $5 one day. That it can do. So keep it in mind. And then you do have the PCRs at 2s. Yo, this is cheap, man. This is cheap because these PCRs look, you know, nicer than the PURs. And at all-time lows, if you need your Sky Crises, just don't forget. You know, don't forget. Get exposure to the prismatics or, you know, just any of these rarities that you want at these current prices. Then we have Trap Tricks Mermillio. I had to order a playset of the Platinum Secret Rares because, you know, matching rarities for my hat deck. You know, this is played at 3s. This card was 15s recently, 16s, and it's crashing down to 1082s. So for hat format, if you need this card at around $10-11, sure. Could it go into the single digit territory? Of course. But you know, if you really need it, maybe you start at least get one to get some type of exposure, position of strength, because this card is played in hat, the best deck in hat, you know, which is Artifact, you know, Trap Tricks, and what's the other thing? You guys know more than me. The whole point is people play this, the hat deck, the best deck. What's the name of the deck? I don't know if it has like a technical name or whatever, but you guys get what I mean. So people need it. People need it. Just keep it in mind. It came out. It's going to be around 10s. Maybe his single digits dips to 9. You want to take advantage of this at 30 piece, maybe in person. You know, pick it up, get exposure because of hat. Hat players will want this at playsets. Like me, I had to come in and get the plats. Literally had to come in and buy a playset. So the plats are also good, you know, to get exposure. Because me, before building my hat deck, when I saw this card, I'm like, who cares? This thing got reprinted. Trap Tricks suck. And then I'm like, oh, you know, so they suck nowadays, obviously. But for hat format, like, people need this card. So you can see the volume coming in, you know, and there's massive walls of China at 64 cents. you know, at Shekels. But this one could age very, very well as a platinum secret that I could see going from Shekels to Billy's. I could see that. I can see that being a thing. So me personally, I would be getting this card as Shekels because no one's looking at it right now. And the only reason that I'm mentioning it and that I looked at it from Stampede is because I needed it. My hat deck that I have right here, you know, still working the kinks, trying to finish my hat deck. And yeah, when these came in, I'm like, yes, okay. Whew. You know, I'm good. You know, because I don't want to be paying a premium for these cards later on down the line. We have access code Talker, alternate art. Yeah, there's one here for 10 bones plus shipping. That's crazy. But really, the card is around 15s. We always told you guys that we expected this card when it first came out at 25s. You know, and there was poor Billy Bob, man. Poor Billy Bob. Where's my guy, man? Look, that's your boy right there. Poor Billy, man. There was people buying this at $75. We already had an OG. We already had an OG access code. Jay, but I like the alternate art, and this is my new favorite, and you know, money ain't a problem, obviously. Yo, there was 11 Billy Bobs, man, paying $65. Shh. And there was 84 Billy Bobs paying $25 for a for a $15 card. Poor Billy, man. All those people are down $10 today. A pop. It's rough, guys. 44 listings. Patience won this game if you waited. And now at all-time lows. Sure, could it go below 15s like this and have an occasional, you know, deal or go into the 14s? And anything is possible. But if you need this card, you waited. You waited for the $15 mark that we called. And yeah, this card can continue going down in price, but do see volume coming in at, you know, as it's at all-time lows. This is what I'd be comfortable paying for. Alternate art, access code, 15 bones, and live to fight another day. We have Sky Striker Ace Hayate 2380 with all the new Sky Striker support, new cards, and the hype. Again, this is at all-time lows. Anything under 25s should age very, very well. You know, again, Hayate's used less than Shizuku, but I can still see this being a 40 to 50 piece. I can see that, not now, not in the short term, but mid to long term, I could definitely see that playing out, guys. So if you need this card, especially, look, only ones and two ofs, it's not that readily available as you guys would think. Make sure you do not miss out. We have a Hero Lives. This card is $8. Card was 9-10s, went up to 13s because of the new hero support announced, hero hype. It just crashed back down, but to an all-time low. It's crazy. You have a 4 listing here, 4 copies, and you know, it's still 9s. You have a couple 1s and 2s, and then eventually it does reclaim the double digit mark. So this is a deal right here. Like if you need a Hero Lives and you want this quarter century secret rare, $8 is where it's at. Like you can't get a better deal, you know, with the hero support coming down the line. 8 bones for a quarter century secret rare. I think this one ages very, very well. Just highlighting these deals for you because people forget, oh, new hero announced, and you know, hero support and this and that, and then you know they move on, they forget about it, and you know, that's when you come in. When they forget, you remember. You come in at 8 bones, and you're gonna be giving these away at 2 to 3x's from these current prices later on down the line. We have Black Rose Dragon alternate art. This card, you know, it's at all-time lows right now. You know, it's around 7s and some change, 61 listings. So, you know, if you need your copy, no better time to pick it up now. You know, at around 7s, single digits, down 25% from the double digit mark. Not bad at all. Again, if I see these, you know, I'll definitely try and pick them up because the alternate art looks nice. And as an investment, you know, Eddie Edison's might want, you know, to get this version down the line, quarter century secret rare. It looks pretty nice. I will not lie. I will not lie. Alternate art, cheap as it's ever been. Play sets here at 769s. Eventually, it does reclaim the $9 mark with the RO9 there. So, you know, it's readily available at 9s. So anything under that, it's a deal in steel and should age very, very well. We have Line of the Light Charmer, Lustrous. This QCSR, you know, it's $7. And recently it was 10s. So it's down 30%. So 60 listings only. The card is down 30%, and this is when you want to pick it up. You know, because after a couple of one-ups, it does eventually go to double digits, guys. And listings, they're not like that crazily available, you know, or readily available. So this is when you want to buy a card like this, you know, losing steam, all-time lows, lack of interest, everyone forgot. It's still a charmer. There's going to be people collecting these charmers long-term. So you definitely want to get exposure at these current prices right now. Guys, the link in the description down below. You want to come over here and join our Discord for our giveaway. We're going to be doing the next giveaway very, very soon. You don't want to miss out. So one click, make sure you follow and come get your free $15 off to buy cards from Stampede, from Battles of Legend, from Duelist Advance. 15 free dollars. Come over here, one click, link in the description down below. Make sure you subscribe, man. Just ring that bell, like the video on the way in. Would gladly appreciate it as we continue to grow. It's all thanks to you guys. And none of this content is official financial advice. Is for entertainment purposes only. So if you're still here 30 minutes in, I think Runic Fountain QCSR is a great pickup right now. You know, Runics fell out of favor. Malice was rampant everywhere, and it's still around, you know, but so everyone's playing Lancia. But as Malice, you know, continues to dwindle from playability, and people, you know, move on and they have to side deck other cards against more broken decks like, you know, the Dragon Tail engine, Vanquish Soul, Canine, and Yummies. And, you know, then I think Runics have a leeway or a path to actually make a comeback, not to become like the end-all be-all meta, but, you know, to start seeing it as a rogue contender when people getting the occasional top here and there. So if you want this quarter century secret rare from Stampede, Runic Fountain, look, card used to be 550s, spiked up to 8s, and now it's at around $8. So, excuse me, guys, 33 listings. You have one at $7.89, and then it goes to $10, guys, essentially. So, yeah, listings are low. Volume has stayed consistent. This card could go crazy because it's the field spell, is the main, you know, part of the engine, essentially. So this card is very, very cheap right now. You don't want to miss out. That's all I'm going to say, man. You do not want to miss out. Want to make sure you get exposure. Don't let this single digi card become double digits on you. 15 to 20s down the line. Do as you must, because no one's looking at it right now. Not saying that it's going to come back and be the best meta deck. That's not the point. But it could still get to a point where people want this card. They want to build Runic with X deck, or Runic in this with this next engine, or Runic with this and that in the third. So definitely keep this one in mind. And you do have the Platinum Secret Rare as that budget option. Then we have Sky Striker Ace Ray, actually at an all-time low. I personally said that anything under 50 should be a deal. And that at 50s, it should 2x from $50 to $100. So honestly, we call it how it is here. You know, this being at 38s, we said that 40s could possibly be lows or the lows, but even when it was at 50s, but 38s, man, 38, 39, still around 40s. But this wall of China of 18 right here, that's crazy. You know, supply is coming in strong, but after that wall, it quickly goes back up to 40s. And in that same way and manner, it could easily go back up to 50s. So if you want this alternate art, it's at all-time lows. I mean, there's been no better time to get it. And when with the new Sky Striker support just around the corner and the Sky Striker hype coming back, there's been no better time to get exposure to this card, in my humble opinion. So here we have Black Metal Dragon, a QCSR. Again, people were paying, guys, like 20 to 25s, almost even 30s, like for the super rare OTS version. And now you have a quarter century secret rare that was 12 to 13s, went up to 13 to 14s, you know, went up like $1 here. So it was holding strong between 12 and 13s essentially. And now it's crashed down to all-time lows, actually entering the single digit territory, so 61 listings. And this is what you want, because after a couple of one-ups, it does go back up to 11s, and there's no crazy walls of China. So these are deals on cards like these, quarter century secret rares like these, that they're not the end-all be-all. They're not, you know, meta relevant right now, but that does not mean that they can't become money. There's always Red Eyes players out there. You know, this card is very, very good. Not just in Red Eye specific decks, but also I think Dragon Links play this, if I'm not mistaken, even though, you know, it's currently not a deck, you know, right now that is being heavily played, but you just never know. If you want this card, people were paying 20s or 30s for a reason. Now at around $10 for the quarter century secret rare. I think these should age very, very well. definitely consider picking these up as single digis if you need them right now. We have Sage with the Eyes of Blue, you know, still hovering around the mid 30s, you know, and I told you guys that $100 for this is like just right to get exposure. 41 listings. You know, you're like, yo, I'm a Blue Eyes player, Jay. I love quarter centuries. This is the one I want. $100. That's what you want to pay. Not more, not less in a sense. I mean, of course, less, but you know, it's just the phrase. That's just how it goes. But yeah, 100 bones. That's what you want to pay for a playset. 41 listings. That's what I do. 5 pages only right now. Sure, could it continue going down even below 30s? Anything is possible. But it is Sage with Eyes of Blue. And now Primite getting new support. Maybe more Primite Blue Eyes players, you know, come back and they're like, yo, I want my Sages. So $100, you know, right here. Not bad. I'd be getting this card, you know, just to get exposure. If it goes down more, then you pick up another playset. If you're a big baller and you invest into it so that then in the future, if it becomes money, you have that extra playset that you got in the 20s. So you can move at around 40 to 50s. If this ages well, just as a collectible piece, it's Sage. And as a quarter century secret rare, people love that stamp. So there you go. And then the platinum secrets are around 2s, guys. Not bad at all, but you do see a lot of 1-ofs, man. You see a lot of 1-ofs all the way to what, man? Page 3? No way. Let's see. Yo, okay. So this card is essentially $10 a playset. So that is the max that you want to get and buy it for, essentially. Like, you don't want to be paying over 10s for a playset at these current prices. Me, I got these at 5s, you know, trading and stuff like that. So, you know, now instead of 15s, now they're 10s for playsets, and I still keep picking them up. So my average price goes down. So if I'm at Nats or whatever and I see Sage with Eyes of Blue, I still pick them up. $10 a playset is the max now that I'm wanting to trade for. Anything below that is a steal. So again, when we talk about cards like these, this is long term, guys. Like, this is not like, oh, but I bought it today and it went down 5 cents. It's not now. Like, we're talking about when Blue Eyes gets a next wave later this year in 2026, or who knows, maybe even in 2027. Like, these cards, you just own them, you get them, and then these rarity collections start getting hard, and then people still love Blue Eyes, they still need their Sages, and you know, and this is the next best thing from Stampede, because I think this got the nostalgia treatment. So when you consider all those factors, when we tell you guys to get exposure, this is not the quick buck, this is not the quick money, this is not cards that you want to necessarily vend with and like start moving because they're highly liquid and then you move this into something else. Not necessarily. You know, not everything is fast tracking and highly liquid and you're moving it all the time. Some investments you need to just hold. You need to let it marinate like fine wine. You come back later on down the line and you're up 2 to 3x because you came in early when no one else was looking at these cards. Then you have the Linquent Duo. If it wants to show up in the screen, okay, you know, white screen here, boys. As we can see, this white card is amazing. Nah, guys, there we go. The Linquent Duo here. Again, another one. 38 listings is 25 bones and the same deal. You need to understand that there was people willing and able to pay $25 for any version of the Linquent Duo that ever existed. It doesn't matter if it was a super rare, an ultra rare, or the secret rare technical max rarity, or the old ones. People were like, yo, if you needed the Linquent Duo, you needed to pay 25-piece McNuggies to get access to the card. And now for the same price, you can get a quarter century stamped secret rare. Again, not me. I could care less about this version, but goat boomers that love quarter century secret rares are going to be like, yo, damn, these ultras were 25s, quarter centuries 25s. Where you pick that up? And that mindset, again, look, this card is double bottom. Clearly, we're in the midst of creating a W-shaped recovery. So if there was ever a time where you needed this card, there's walls at China at 25, 26s. You got exposure now. Sure, but Jay, it went down and now it's a $20 card. Then you get more. Like me, what I'd be doing, let's say I want this, at least I would be picking one up to play right now. Just one. As a goat boomer, 25 bucks, slide it in my deck, live to fight another day. Jay, it went down to 20s. Pick up another one as an investment. And that's it. You'll be fine, guys. So that would be the approach. You know, the Platinum Secret Rare is around $4. I also want as many of those as I can get my hands on. You have Trap Dust Shoot, guys, Platinum Secret Rare. This card continues to hover with these walls of China at around $8. I'm happy to see these walls. Hopefully they remain so, even though volume is coming in, because this card is like free money, man. This is one of those cards that they got to reprint, and then in a couple months, it feels like it never got reprinted before. Literally, guys, there's always a bunch of cards that's the feeling you get. That's the feeling you get. They get reprinted in the moment. Oh, you see one there, you see one in a binder, you're like, okay, it got reprinted. And then 3-6 months pass by, and then it's nowhere to be found. No one has these anymore. Everyone has them in their decks. Like me in my Edison and Gold decks, I'm set with trapped up shoots. I'm not selling those. I'm not moving those, and I'm still looking for more. Because these are cards that this is gonna be a $15 card. Again, maybe even 20s, but that's down the line, and especially if it doesn't get an additional reprint anywhere, which I don't see it happening if we're honest. But yeah, trap does shoot. Like the masses, the boomer masses really needed this card, and not just a one-of. I think an Edison maybe is at one, but GOAT boomers need playsets. So the only reason why I'm emphasizing this, guys, is because it's not all just the modern Yu-Gi-Oh cards. At the end of the day, yes, most of you guys maybe want to save money getting the new cards and the recent reprints and things of that nature, but it's all about making money. Even if you don't play these boomer formats, you can come in, you pick these up at single digits, and then these are going to be 15 to 20s, and you're going to be laughing at Billy the Goat when you give them this card at a higher valuation. Same as Metamorphosis. Don't sleep on it as it double bottoms right now. Beautiful double bottom formation on the chart. Again, this is when you want to buy. There's a clear buy signal with volume increasing. Anything under 5s will age very, very well for this card, and you just don't see these. That's the thing, guys. I've been traveling to Philly, to Houston for the YCS, and where was the other YCS? I've been traveling to these events and going and I go, hey, that's what I do. If it's a region, I spend the whole day looking at everyone's binders, trading. And then if I go to a YCS, multiple days trading, and you don't see these cards. You just don't. So again, they're not as readily available as we would think. Yeah, there's 100 listings, but most of these are one-offs. They're not play sets, and people at times need play sets of this card, man. People need play sets of their Metamorphosis, and this is a card. Remember, we always said, wow, it would be so nice to have a holographic print of this common that is just so much money. And and here we are. Here's the reprint at cheaper prices. So don't take that for granted. Easy future money. Maxi, same deal. Card recently hit 472s. Now it's back up to 580s. And this is another one that ages very, very well. I had like an R09, and now I don't have an R09 anymore because they're all inside three of my past decks. So I might need more. I need Maxis, bro. I need more of these. It's unfortunate that it's already pushing 6s. I really wanted, instead of a V-shaped recovery from the lows to remain under 5s. We'll see. Hopefully, we get another wall of China. Yeah, man, Maxi, we wanted a reprint. All copies of Maxi were like double digits. It was like, man, if we can get a Maxi reprint holographic, that'd be great. Here it is. Here it is, man. Here it is. People sometimes forget, especially as newer sets continue to come out. So me, Nats, I want to pick these. I want to pick up so many cards, man. It's crazy, man. I'm addicted to the brown, okay? I'm an addict. So again, this is played at play sets in multiple Time Wizard formats, man. Don't sleep on Maxi. This is free money down the line. This is going to be double digits. Whoever buys today is going to be up 40% eventually down the line. Easy peasy. Then we have Dimensional Prison. Deep Prisons just continue to consolidate between $4 to $5. Anything under 5s or at around 5s is a steal, for the long term. We had even rares and commons around $4 to $5 before this reprint. So the fact that this is around the same price as a higher rarity is a great indication that this card might be 7 to 8s in the short to midterm and eventually a double-digit card. So I really love Platinum Secret Rares from Stampede like these. Just like Royal Oppression card, continues to consolidate. Same deal. Anything below or at $5 should age very, very well for this card. You definitely shouldn't sleep on it right here. This card was 15s across the board, and now you have a Platinum Secret Rare at 5s. Easy future money. You have Amaryllis. This card used to be super expensive, because it didn't have a reprint. Now that it got a reprint, it's at all-time lows, man. So that's pretty impressive to me to see this right here. that this card, you know, there's a couple listings at $1, but it's $1.20. I had no clue that this wall was here, so it makes me a happy camper. I won't lie, I came in between my $1.50 to $2s, mainly just off trading these. So now seeing these at 1 to 120s makes me even happier to continue accumulating these cards. Because again, if you're 45 minutes in, just these are amazing pickups long term. All the Eddie Edisons wanted this card reprinted. It was like 60, 70 bucks, something crazy to get access to this card. And now it's $1. We shouldn't take that for granted, because when these become scarce, they'll go up in price. I could see this platinum secret rare at least being $5 one day, conservatively. Who knows? Maybe even double digits, guys. You know what I mean? You mean what I know? And lastly, we have a couple cards that are not Stampede related. If you stayed and stuck through the market watch, Double Evolution Pill. There's been a lot of Dino support lately. You know, Jirax running around. You know, and things of that nature. Don't forget, this card only has 3 prints. Yes, it has a rare readily available. We get it. Has an ultra rare readily available at around $1 a place. Not bad if you're really on a budget. But you have the secret rares, guys. This secret rare, max rarity from Battles of Legend, Light's Revenge, you know, was around $1. And now, you know, people are coming in. Look at that. Card quickly goes to 5s with shipping at the bottom of the page. So if you can squeeze any of these in, or your locals has this or whatever, get exposure to the secret rare. It might be $5 in the short term, maybe even double digits. So don't sleep on your Double Evolution Pills. If you need this card, secret rare's already starting to make moves, max rarity. Even get your ultras at a budget if you really need the card. You know, again, as you can see here, volume is coming in. You have over 100 listings, so you have Walls of China, you know, at around under a quarter. No excuse to not get exposure to this card if you really, really need it. And then we have Necros Cycle as well from Battles of Legend Heroes Revenge with only 4 prints. You have 2 rares and ultra rare and a secret rare. So again, just don't sleep on the card. Honestly, I would be picking up the secret rare. All this, look at this Necros hype. The card was $1, massive volume coming in. You have 2 at 144s. Then the card quickly goes to 3s and beyond. Who knows if and when it gets an additional print. So right now, this is the max rarity version of this card. If you need it, you don't want to miss out. You don't want to wait. You don't want to let the secret rare become $4 to $5 or beyond. You want to make sure you get exposure early if you need this card, because you just don't know if and when it's getting an additional print. And with only 4 prints, yeah, the rares, you can get those on a budget, but this is the max rarity secret rares. These look very, very nice. You definitely do not want to miss out, guys. All right, so on that note, guys, if you made it this far out into the video, you guys are straight MVPs. Make sure you subscribe, you ring that bell, you like the video on the way out, guys. You know, as we continue to grow, we continue to give away, you know, it's an honor to be here, guys. And yeah, the mic, you know, should sound great. A lot of great feedback. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys providing that feedback to me about the mic and the voice sounding great, things of that nature. So yeah, I mean, again, for $50 on eBay, guys, if you need a mic, whatever project you're doing, you know, this Blue Yeti, Logitech for creators, whatever the name is, you know, it's not bad for 50 bucks. 50 bones. Hopefully it maintains. Let me know what you guys think, and share this in one place in a group chat with some friends. It really does go a long way, and I'm just gladly appreciated of each and every single one of you guys finding value in what I do. Guys, thank you so much for your time, for your support, for your attention. Stay fresh.